All right, so we see the bad guy. He's here.
Yeah.
The bad guy is here.
All right, what is Nathan on?
Nathan is on
Ooh,
Ruby Storm.
Okay.
Ruby Storm. Some of the flex slots, we got a Valakut Awakening, the Flipland spell, the
Yep.
wheel/Flipland spell, 2 of the Shatter Skull Smashing. Those are like some of the flex slots, and then 1 Gemstone Caverns. I don't know if that's popular in Storm right now or not.
Interesting. I've seen some lists play it, yeah.
Yeah, and there is a white splash in the sideboard, so he's only doing the white splash, not the white and green splash on the sideboard. So in the Storm sideboard, there's actually Flages and Silences and the Static Prison. I really appreciate the 4 Static Prison in the sideboards for these Ruby Storm decks because it answers every single hate piece you could ever come across.
And you only really need to be around for 2 turns anyway, so...
The game's over.
Yeah.
The game's going to be over if you're playing this spell as the Storm player.
Yeah.
So that's really effective there. And then here we have Steven, and he's on the bad guy Boros. Same color, different skew. So we have 3 Flage, and then just for the people who are very familiar with the archetype, he's only on 3 Discharge, 3 Bolt.
Yes.
And then 4 Prison. So some of the Boros players have decided to like split their removal just because the power and toughness is sometimes harder to get across. And Lightning Bolt just gives you a level of reach, right?
Yeah.
So there's
I
only,
know that Dango, who won the Secret Lair Challenge with
he cut the lightning
off
bolt.
bolts
He cut the bolt for way more board presence. Even though this list here does have Ragavan, it's a little bit less on the Goblin Bombardment kind of style.
Yeah, just 2 bombardments.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got the 4 of Guide, 4 of a Johnny, 4 Raptor. Like you got the 4 of the MH3 suite.
Yeah, and then just to put a little bit more delineation, like I know a lot of the Boros players, they always have a debate as to like how many Aether Hubs and versus how many Arena of Glories are in the mana base. And Steven has gone with 3 Aether Hub and 2 Arena of Glory.
Yeah, so Nathan did pull off the Gemstone Cavern steal the play, looks like.
And that is always a fantastic play for Storm because now you are forcing only 1 of 4 copies of Static Prison to come out now or lose.
Yes.
This is it. And
we
have
there's Pride.
Awesome. So here we are.
Gaining life, not crazy effective
the game
here.
may be over next turn, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Right? Like we are in the situation where it is all dependent on Nathan and his top deck right now. Oh yeah, he'll let him gain the life and gain the token. There's absolutely no...
And now we see if Steven's dead.
Well, Pyretic Ritual is a very good start no matter how you see it.
Yeah, I see a Ritual, I see Wish.
Icy Witch, Wish, Manamorphose, 3 Rituals, 1 Desperate, 2 Pyretic. Yeah, okay, so here we are.
And away we go.
Yeah, let's add the mana in the mana pool, so before we make a bigger decision, gaining more information, that's always great. Here's a Storm counter, here's a mana counter. Let's go. Draw. Ral Zarek. Perfect.
It's over.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least I think it's over.
Hey, do you know what's also crazy? I really thought Ral Zarek was the best flip walker, and I'm really happy I'm right about that.
Nice.
There's not many coin flip cards I appreciate.
Well, I mean,
but that one is one of them.
I mean, a Johnny's got to be up there
I still think,
right?
well, Ral Zarek wins the game.
I guess so.
A Johnny's just flashy.
Yeah.
And a Johnny Vengeance is my homeboy, okay? But yeah, like.
But Ral does win the game.
Yeah, Ral just wins the game. Like, yeah, I think Nathan's just sitting there trying to figure out how far and how deep he can go. But
yeah, because he has not really any dig left. He's all in on Wish
I do believe that's the Valakut Awakening, or it's the...
No, it's the Shatter Skull Smashing.
Oh, it's the Shatter Skull. Okay.
Yeah, so if he wishes, he's wishing for dig.
So in the sideboard of the Storm, because this is now relevant, he has Empty the Warrens.
Honestly...
And he has Underworld Breach. He has Underworld Breach and Empty the Warrens and Grape Shot. So he's probably doing math. I would just do Empty the Warrens right now.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Like, I mean, actually, Galvanic Relay goes a really long way.
This was the other option, too, is Galvanic Relay. But then you sort of let your opponent have a turn, essentially, with Galvanic Relay, because you can't do it until the next turn, right?
Yeah.
So if you wanted to just dominate the board completely, I don't know if Empty the Warrens actually does it, but it potentially could, especially with Ral Zarek.
Yeah,
but
it's close, right? Because he's at Storm 1, 3 Ritual puts at 4, Ral puts at 5, Wish is 6, and then Empty gives you 14 2/2s?
Yeah,
Or,
it's
14-1-1s, I mean?
so. Here's also another very awkward thing I can think about. What if you grabbed Flage and kicked it back? So he's going for it. He is seeing a line.
Yeah.
So I am interested to see as to like what the style is going to do, because I believe technically you can play a Flage and then escape to this turn.
Can he make white?
Metamorphose.
He used it already.
Yeah, but if you
But
breach and then you get
okay.
it all back, you can actually generate 4 white.
I guess?
Yeah.
See,
you
I
could
think
generate
if
3 white.
I think if that's the line, I think I would wish, get breach, storm off a couple more times,
Yeah.
wish again, grab empty, make like 20 plus goblins.
Yeah, it won't matter though with Onslaught Pride and First Strike. That's the real issue, right? Like,
I think it might actually still be enough.
Yeah.
I mean, his smashing might also just clear the board.
okay, so that's
if he
it.
just
Looks like,
floats
it looks
some
like
mana
he
here.
is.
Yeah.
That is what he's doing. It looks like he is casting the smashing. He's desperately casting the smashing here. Oh, geez. Okay, so that was the line that he saw.
All right, so yeah, just smash, board wipe you, leave Guide of Souls up, I guess. I'm not familiar with the exact text on smashing. I know it does divided
Was there
damage.
not a reason to play the Rouse Eric and attempt to flip it there? Oh no,
Oh, he
he's doing
is going to
Galvanic
do relay. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's clearing the board, and then he's getting
Relay.
like 10 cards or something here.
Okay. So
Which-
this was a decision, and it's respectable because
Yeah.
Guide of Souls is very fantastic, but it's not going to win the game all by itself. So.
Yeah, and like
It
giving your
needs
opponent a
support.
turn here after you've more or less wiped their board,
Yeah.
I think is probably enough to kind of lights out it here.
Yeah.
Unless Nathan just hits very, very bad off the. So you
Yeah,
got.
so Steven doesn't have any Magebane Lizards or Thraben Charms or Orm's Chance or...
No, he's got 2 Orm's Chant. He's got a Damping Sphere.
But not in the main deck.
Yes. Oh yeah, no main deck. He's got dick on.
Yeah.
He's cooked.
Damping Sphere, Dranith, Magistrate, Magebane Lizard. Wow, look at this. This is a lot of spice. And then 2 Orm's Chant in sideboard. So yeah, you might as well start sideboarding. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Nathan didn't hit too hard, but he
1,
did at least
2,
hit
3.
Ritual and dig 5 deep with a Ren's Resolve and the what's the other one? On something, Glimpse the Impossible. That's the one.
Yes.
And I mean, with Steven with a 1/2 in play, it's not the most threatening clock.
No. And then pass is not as effective either. So there's a Goblin Bombardment.
Yeah.
That's about it. So now we have we definitely
Yeah.
just got to strike it.
Play a
much.
land off the top or off your exiled card. That seems good.
It's interesting to choose the fetch land over the mountain that was
Right.
accessible there, but there's also the Arena of Glory.
To haste out your Flage, I guess that you pick up for the sideboard.
Hey man, like I saw, like there was a line there. Like I
guess.
Like if you didn't have Static Prison now, what makes you gonna have Static Prison the next turn, right? Like,
True.
Yeah, like
true.
I
You lose
thought-
to top deck Static Prison, but I
Yeah.
guess outside of that, like,
But like you win the game the next turn essentially if your opponent has a Flage out
Yeah.
and you don't even have 3 mana out, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, as a degenerate dress down gamer, I do know the power of just turn 3
Yeah.
Flage pass.
Yeah.
Like it stays, go to you.
Yeah, so it looks like maybe perhaps he's going for one of the Sacred Foundries. He has one copy of Sacred Foundry. No,
No,
So
just
he went for the
just
mountain.
flexing,
So
I
he's-
guess. He's
so- so he's-
or thinning, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I mean has been of a meme since fetch lands have been printed. Like, do you think that the deck thinning is actually relevant?
So back then there was a bunch of statistical analysis on thinning and like whether it's effective or not. Now I've never said that it's going to be something that happens within a single game all the time.
Yeah.
But there's 2 things to also consider: is that there's synergies, and there's also the effects of over the cost of a tournament. I would say.
Okay.
Like you may not draw a card technically in one game, but like over the course of games, it definitely has helped you. Like
Right.
the more you use them, the more compound they are.
Okay.
Now, I think since the murders at Karlov, we can't deny it thins since surveillance have been printed.
Yes.
So that like. That's where I sit on it. It's like before you could have some level of debate, but I think the accumulative use of them have always benefited you more than hurt you.
Yeah.
But at this point in time, I think it's just undeniable that with the surveil lands, you're able to actually technically thin.
Yeah,
You're-
not just a meme anymore,
yeah,
but
it's
like
not
a real statistic.
You're
that
essentially
works.
you're essentially taking 1.5 cards off the top of your deck.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're filtering your draw, and you're taking the land that would have been coming to play tapped out of your deck. Right?
Yes.
Like it's super effective at that. Like if it's better than the Shocklands and Legacy, there we are, right? Like
Yeah. Well, I mean, not much to say here. I mean, Nathan's going off.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of mana. He's got Ral in Exile.
And he has a prettier Ruby medallion, so it's unfortunate that you have those mismatched cards. But hopefully, with the credit that he wins today, he'll be able to upgrade those Ruby medallions.
Yeah, change them over to the OGs. I mean, look, if a deck wins you an RC, you got to give it some love, right? You got to walk with the counter and be like, all right.
You know how much I flexed on my Murktide deck, man? Like,
I think my deck is, I mean, outside of foiling, it's as flex as it can currently get until they print some more borderless fetch lands, and then that's another upgrade for me.
Where's your onslaught fetches, man? Like,
No, dude, I'm all in on this new borderless era. That
I need your help. Chat, support me.
Yeah.
Retro fetch lands are better than borderless.
Retro.
Go. Let's start a poll.
What about the fake new old border fetches? Are those at least, or does it got to be onslaught?
Rob Alexander did too much of an amazing job on those fetches. Like Rob Alexander was, here we go, onslaught or bust. There we go. We got one, boys. We got one.
Okay. All
Onslaught or
right.
bust. We got it.
Look, they didn't print old border flayed, so what am I supposed to do?
The full art's pretty good.
Just have a mismatch of full art, old border stuff?
New cards deserve extended art. I won't deny that. But like cards of that era, like when they redid the Shocklands in retro frame, oh my god, that hit right in the feels. I'm like, that is Rob Alexander's work, like at its best right there.
Yeah. I was actually surprised that because I think Consigned Memory is the unholy heat of MH3 for me, where it's kind of like
it's
a
more
weird.
the Dragon Rage Channeler.
Is it?
Yeah, I think Galvanic Discharge is more the unholy heat.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's like the
In
kind of
comparison.
underrated, common card that then
for
just
sure.
blew up everywhere, right?
Same with Dragon Rage Channeler. I saw that, like, because before the world of MH2, I was playing Blue-Red Prowess.
Yes.
And, dude, Stormwing Entity was a house.
Oh,
and then when I saw a 1-mana red Stormwing Entity, I was like, this is
We're
nuts.
in.
I was like, I know what I'm buying.
See, I saw it. I was like, I mean, no one plays Delver right now. Why would they play this?
Oh.
And then I got proved wrong swiftly.
Then it's like, why would we play Delver
I was
when
like,
we play this?
I was like, oh, it's a Delver that helps flip itself.
Yeah.
Cool.
So while we've distracted you, Storm has won a game. But yeah.
Yeah, certainly breached and then blew up Steven's life total.
Yeah, so Storm can just win any way it wants, whenever these situations occur. But so we need to go back into game 3. Now, this is how it changes for sure.
Yes.
We have one Gemstone Caverns in the main, one in the side. They come back in, like they have to, right? There is a debate as to whether to put any copies of Flage in the main.
In the main deck, yeah. It's
and
just like,
Static Prisons in order to combat the hate pieces that Steven will bring in.
Yeah, I think Prison is a must.
What do you think about Flage? Do you think Flage gets brought in?
So I think I don't think so, honestly.
No? Okay.
Because like it does buy you maybe a turn by killing a guy, gaining some life.
Right.
Fine. Maybe you Manamorphose, maybe double whites. I mean,
Right.
like, I guess Nathan is on, I assume, more than one white source in his list. So you can just cast it normally. So that's Sacred Foundry.
We have two Elegant Parlors.
Parlors.
We have 2 Parlors, 1 Sacred
Does
Foundry.
play Arena Glory main deck, which is very funny to me. So I mean, there
think
is
it's
like
a
the
line.
sideboard juke.
I think it's a line to play Flage
Yeah.
in the main. I think there's a like, and I'll just also say this: if you're not bringing in Flages in the main in this matchup, what am I missing?
I guess so. Yeah.
Like what am I missing? Like
Because I'm trying to-
this
like,
is 20% of the metagame, ladies and gentlemen. So it's like if you're not bringing in this card against this deck, I don't know why you have them in the 75.
Yeah, like I can see it, being a clear put in against like
Yeah.
control decks where it's
Yeah.
like, the counter the comp piece is fine,
Yeah.
and then Flage counter this, all good, escape, kill you, right?
So we just sort of got a sneak peek there. There's definitely 3 Static Prisons and the Gemstone Caverns going into the deck, and it looked like the Flages are sitting in the sideboard.
I think he left him out, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the decision that they have, and this is where we're going.
Yeah, because like the hate pieces that Boros is going to be bringing, that he's at least expecting, are going to be Orm's Chant, Damping Sphere are kind of the popular ones.
Yeah, but there's also Mage Bane Lizard, which, man, that card is spicy.
It's sweet.
This is like the type of card, like, say, with Pick Your Poison as well, where it's like this common or uncommon that ends up being, like, so effective in some of these matchups in all these older formats.
Yeah.
And, like, I just wish Wizards would just print us some promos for these things, because just to get some extra copies out there. Not saying, like, Mage Bane Lizard is expensive, but sometimes these cards are just hard to find.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I was building some list in Pioneer.
Yeah.
I needed portable bowls.
yeah.
That card is fucking impossible to find, and it's like
Yeah.
an uncommon.
So during AFR Standard,
Yeah.
I opened up those promo booster packs at all the local stores,
Yeah.
and I kept getting it. So I have 4 dark frames, and everyone's like, "How'd you get those?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Dude, they came in those weird little packs. Like, I don't know what to tell you."
They just kept giving them to me. I don't know.
They just kept giving you.
Yeah,
the
no, I
packs.
got to the point where I was like, look, just give me an AFR booster, and I'll just
Yeah.
open them for portable holes.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
I
and
just
there
couldn't
was
find
tons
any.
of those around too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Because like the rest of it, like overall, the set was fucking garbage for like value and like playable cards. And Purple Hole also wasn't expensive. It was like $1, maybe $2.
I think the draft
know?
format, I appreciated it more looking back than I
Yes.
did when it was still there. Like the dice rolling was just like a little random, and
Yeah.
some cards were just traps, but it was fun.
It was
like
fun.
it wasn't a competitive format by any means.
No,
but,
no.
But it was fun, and you know what? I think that's the goal of a core set, and that's what it first replaced, right? Like
Yes.
it stopped the M series of core sets.
Yes,
So-
and it was like
Yeah.
also like Universes Beyond Light, right? Because it was like D&D themed, so trying to pull into the
Oh,
D&D
you knew
players,
the floodgates were open the next year after that
Yeah.
happened. It's like, oh, you're putting D&D in Magic? Oh, how creative of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still owned by Wizards of the Coast, guys. We swear this isn't a branching of IPs here. I swear.
Yeah.
Oh, how naive I was.
Yeah.
How naive I was.
I guess
But,
the only other consideration is potentially like from the Boros aggro side towards the Storm.
Yeah.
Do you side in Thraben Charm? Destroys an enchantment.
It
Exiles
does.
the graveyard.
It does, which are relevant modes, but I mean the hard part that I think I find with the sideboard cards that are only useful when they're going off
Yeah.
is that it needs to really shut down what they're doing hard, right?
Yeah.
Like Orange Chant does say your turn is over,
Yeah.
right? But when it comes to like Thraben Charm and like, you know, we also see that Steven's playing like Untimely Malfunction,
Yeah.
right, for the
I-
Belcher matchup, right?
I see Thraben Charm better than I see Galvanic Discharge.
Yes, I mean, yeah,
Like-
that's also the thing is like, there's a lot of really dead cards in Steven's deck. Like,
Yeah.
Discharge hits exactly Ral, nothing else.
Like, because if you were Steven, like you're citing out One Rings, you're
Yes.
citing out Galvanic Discharge for sure.
Yes.
Because you're only keeping Lightning Bolt because it's flexible against both Ral and the face.
Yes.
But like, do you really sit there with 4 Static Prison? I don't think so. Even though there's Ruby medallions on the opposite side, I don't know if you sit there with 4 Static
Yeah.
Prison. It's a little bit debatable.
I mean, I might
to me.
even be, I'm probably inclined to also cut Bombardment. Because I mean, like,
I could also see that as well.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's also just like a lot of mana to be effectively tapping out for to not interact a whole lot.
Yeah.
When you're like, here's 2 mana, like I can stack my board to kill you. Like Nathan's like, okay, untap, Rune Medallion, you're dead, right? Like
Right. So what do you like?
So, like,
I could see the best hand happening because Steven's on a mulligan. It looks like at this point in time.
yeah.
The best hand has to include Ragavan, correct? It
Yeah.
has to include Ragavan. It has to be turn 1.
Yeah, you have
and
to
then-
snowball that tempo faster
and-
than.
And then it has to include an Aether Hub and an Amphraptor.
Yeah.
To me, that's what I'm looking for if I'm trying to be aggressive in this situation.
Yes.
Well, we see a Mage Bane Lizard, and we still see the One Ring, so
and
he's going with the slower
also got
plan here.
Magistrate here and,
And
Damping Sphere. She's got the.
Like, does
the
he have 2 lands though? I don't think he has 2 lands.
got the. Yeah, what's that card behind?
Is it just a fetch? If it's a fetch in the Surveil land, this is some balls. But like, I would be
Yeah,
very
I-
suspect of this hand because you can tap out for a hate piece. Static Prison could just like end the game for you on the opposite
Yeah.
side. I think these are the hands where people need to evaluate that the One Ring is not sufficient in the deck, and it looks like he's even putting it to the bottom. So
Yes.
it's like, so at least he's correcting the mistake there, and then we're going to be able to start off the whole game. So yeah, that is Windswept Heath. We got a Windswept Heath. This is
All right,
fetch into
so-
Surveil land, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from this. If he does not hit this next land drop of the next 2 top cards, we are probably over.
He might. I think he might have one more land.
Okay.
But I guess it depends on
But
what
there's
we
Dranic
see
Magistrate,
here.
there was Damping Sphere,
Yeah.
there was a Johnny, and then there
Oh,
was...
there was it. Okay, the last card
and-
was a Johnny
and
that
then
I
there
couldn't
was
see.
Magebane Lizard.
So yeah, one land surveil, hoping to rip it off the top here.
Yeah.
I mean, but he does have the full suite of sideboard cards here.
Yeah.
Because yeah, if I'm Steven, I probably brought in Orm's Chant, Magebane Lizard, Exercise, maybe not Exercise, Dranith, Damping Sphere. That's like 7 cards at least, or 7 cards, depending if you want to do the
I think
Raven
he's
Charm.
bidding that bolt. Yeah, he's bidding that bolt. We need a land, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give it to us. Better lucky than good, ladies and gentlemen.
That easy.
Yeah.
It's just that easy.
It's better lucky than good. Yeah, there we go. Well, we don't have to tank too hard on this.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay,
it
yeah,
was
he
Aether
did
Hub.
have Aether Hub. Okay.
All right, well, hey.
So, no,
Hey,
Steven's fine.
Hey,
I don't know why he waffled so hard on
Yeah.
his hand. And the hand's gas. 2
Yeah.
lands, like 3 2-drop sideboard cards.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a sneak.
Yeah, but this could still be not as efficient for him right now. Like, all we need to see here is a Ruby Medallion, and the entire situation could turn around.
Yeah. Because the thing is, Magebane Lizard, it is such a cool card, being that it just reads like reverse storm,
Yes.
right? That's
Yeah.
all it is. It's like, 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage.
It's opposite grape shot.
Yes.
Essentially to their face, like
Yes.
as they're trying to grape shot you.
Yes.
It's
Yeah, I tried, right after Thunder Nation came out, I tried to brew a little, red Taxes deck with all these kind of 2-drop damage
Yeah.
when you do things shitters. And so I jammed 4 Magebane Lizards in my main board. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So when I faced against Storm, it was very funny, where it's
Yeah.
just like, main board 4 of these. It was very bad in every other matchup, though.
So here's the real question. So he played Magebane Lizard first.
Yes.
And my assumption is that he went to attack. Well, it looks like he already came up with a decision. So he wants him to play not more spells, but take damage every time there's a spell.
Yeah, there's some conflict here.
Yeah. So, but he chose Damping Sphere over Dranith Magistrate, right? So that was what I was thinking. Is like, do you play Dranith Magistrate instead, right?
Yeah,
But-
I think I would play Magistrate because that does, dish out more damage over the long run.
it stops wish lines and it stops unrolled breach lines.
Yes.
Right. Like, yeah.
It
And it's
also,
another creature.
Yeah, and
Like-
it also cuts off all of Nathan's dig cards for
Yeah.
him to try to find his sideboard pieces.
Yeah, because I don't think Storm plays Storm's Wrath, but yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, what's that Theros Bolt card?
Yeah, mono red board wipe.
Hey man, that card was good when it was killing 4/4s.
Sure was. I mean, it hits planeswalkers too. I think that's the real sweet text in that card.
That was the
is
real
that
sweet
it
card,
cleans
yeah.
up to fairies and stuff. You're sick.
Man, I was looking for so many copies of that card when I was playing Murktide. I was like, I need this.
Yeah, this is my Wrath of God right
Yeah,
here
yeah.
in red blue. So here comes Ral, and also the fun text on Ral here is that he does block basically all of the sideboard creatures from Steven.
Yeah.
And the nice part about Storm is that the longer that the game goes, generally the better your odds are of winning is. So you just get more and more cards, you can just go up your hand further. And it's all going to kind of come down to, can Nathan find enough sideboard cards to deal with both of these? Because Major Lizard is a 1/4 also, which is fucking crazy for a 2-drop.
Yeah.
So
This is one of those situations where I'm like, I think Flages deserve to be in the main for awkward reasons.
this might
like
be
this.
the
Like,
matchup, where
yeah,
this is
you don't
not.
know what hate piece they have.
No.
You just don't. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I have a Flage. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for this.
Yes.
It's like, yeah. Like,
Right, and all the Boros energy hate pieces are slow.
Yes.
Right, when it comes to killing you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're all of a sudden you just escape Flage,
Yeah.
pass, you're like, fuck, I can't beat this.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to die.
Yeah.
So this might be a race actually because Nathan's got 2 wishes and I think a Ritual and a Metamorphosis in
Well,
hand.
with all those 2-drops and a Damping Sphere, you can't play both. so yeah, there might have been some sequencing once again, but
Yeah.
Modern's a hard format, right? Like you can't. It's way too hard. Oh, I think he's saying that he needs to take one down from the Damping Sphere. The players might have missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe it is non-creature spells for Mage
Yeah.
They're not just instant
Yeah,
sorceries.
it's not one-sided like half of the other unfair Magic cards that you may encounter, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is going to be a race for how fast can Steven kill Nathan before Nathan can accumulate effectively 7 mana to wish, get Flage, play it for 4, and just get it in the graveyard.
See, now if you're Nathan, and you draw Static Prison, which we know he's sided in multiple
Yes.
copies. What do you hit?
I'm inclined to hit the Damning Sphere.
See, I don't even know if that's the right case, but yeah, I can see what you're saying. It's like, but like, say you just hit 3 spells, you can hit that through an extra ritual and then just play an empty, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it might be the Mage Bane. So
Okay.
I think Steven analyzed correctly that Mage Bane was the best card to put out first.
Yes.
But I think it's also his best hate card as well.
Yes. So, a fun part about Glimpse the Impossible is that Nathan can use it as a ritual,
Yes.
and it is 1 mana, which
Yep.
is very nice.
And then he'll take 1 from
Yeah,
the Mage
and of
Bane.
course he's like, yeah, like this Dread Magistrate, I'm not going to play any of these cards, but I'll get my 3
Yeah.
Scions.
So let's roll the dice to see if it flips, odd or even.
Looks like Nathan's taking a point, so,
All right, so he picked even. Okay.
lost the flip. Yeah,
There we go. There's Static Prison.
yeah, but unfortunately lost forever.
Is it?
He has to get rid of Magistrate this turn or next turn.
Oh, yes.
Or no, this turn, because at the end step, anything that's still exiled turns into Scions.
Oh, well, that's 3 mana still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so he's just rampant growthing for 3
I forgot
here.
that all these red exile spells, I cannot keep up with them. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm getting old because, like.
I mean, the
I
timing
don't-
on all of them is different on
Yeah.
when you can play what.
Yeah, it's
Right?
like in Pioneer when Pia was a good deck.
Yes.
I had like 3 different exile piles. Just like I
This
could
is
play,
end of turn.
I could play
is
this one for 2
end of
turns.
next
and then this is
turn.
the one I just got this turn.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets a little confusing now sometimes, for sure. So
yes.
yeah, this is the one where at this end step, anything that's still exiled turns into Scions.
That's fine.
I think it is. Well, I mean, this
the
gets
real
him-
question is like, do you just pay 2 mana for a ritual to try and flip Ral to see what you can do? Like,
Yeah, because I've been blown out by the fact that Ral does have a minus that's
Yes.
not the top 8 or whatever. It's
Yeah.
what do you know? It's Electrolyze, which has killed my shit before, and I've been very sad. Where it's like, well, fuck, like. Yeah. So now Steven's reading Glimpse the Impossible. Do you know what you can choose?
yeah.
If you control a blue permanent draw card, so it's Electrolyze with condition. But it is 2 damage, doesn't kill anything. But what is nice is that if Nathan can find an opportunity to flip Ral and cast Flage, he can kill Mage Bane Wizard,
yeah.
which is a good hit. And then Flage just kills Dread Magistrate again later. But
Yeah,
so
Draft Magistrate definitely shuts down all the lines that Ral offers and the wish that's in Nathan's hand.
it's a
right now.
really strong deck in Storm. So I would like to see Nathan this next turn wish, just wish for Flage out of the
You won't be able
the
to play
sideboard.
it. Oh, does the card?
Oh, that's right.
you can play it from outside the game this turn. You can't.
Yeah, he needs to kill the Magistrate first.
Yeah, so he's down to 2 copies left of the
Static Prison?
Static Prison.
And of course, he can't dig for him with his impulse cards. He has to just naturally draw
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, Ren's Resolve, Reckless Impulse, they are all not good draws. The Manamorphos are good draws.
Yeah, Memphis is
The
good.
Shatter Skull's Smashing is a good draw.
Yes. And yeah,
And
he's on
I would also
the-
consider Valakut Awakening and Strike It Rich also good draws to help
Yep.
you develop a board state that can get past these hate cards sufficiently.
Yes.
So like, there's not that much pressure happening from Steven right now, but there's a lot of prison effects on the board. So.
Yes. Yeah, this is definitely a lock that Nathan's going to have to slowly pick through.
So we finally see the Ajani turn 5.
Yeah. The slowest Ajani you've ever seen. But now we have a pretty respectable clock here. It's not just like 2 damage a turn.
Right.
And Surveil. Galvanic Discharge is going to just take out Ral. This is now Nathan might want to get cheeky here and try to flip.
I would attempt. I don't think there's a reason. I don't think there's a bad reason to not attempt. But if he doesn't want to go for it, he doesn't go for it.
Yeah. Right, could have like Morphos Ritual.
I can understand how to not flip, but at the same time, Ral's positive ability is to reduce the cost of instants and sorceries.
Yeah.
So it actually would have helped against 1 trigger or 2 of the dampening,
Yeah.
depending on what you want to do.
Well, I think Nathan drew his 3rd copy of Wish.
Yeah.
So he's wishing for literally anything else at this point.
Yeah, the flage. Yeah.
I mean, look, there's been games where, I have a pretty good idea of my summer plan.
Yeah.
I play game 2, I'm like, we fucked up.
Yeah.
You go to game 3 and you go and dig it out. We might see Nathan be like, where are those fucking flages?
Yeah,
Like,
all I know is that, like I said, it's like if you don't have it in this matchup, I don't know what
Where
it's
you're
for.
bringing it in, yeah.
But it seems like we're seeing the effects of that right now. This is sort of the problem with just mono red storm, is that it's more susceptible to this level of hate, but it's so much more powerful when you don't see it on your opponent's side, right? Like,
Yes.
like 1 mana exile the top 2 is like better than anything Preordained could have ever asked for, right? Which this is the reason why the deck
1
is
mana
mono
draw
red.
2, yeah.
Like the reason why the deck is mono red is for this reason, is its level of velocity, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and like, I've even, lost to some experienced players where they won't jam the Ruby or the Ral on turn 2. They'll wait, right? Because like
Until
a lot of
they
removal
can go
spells
off,
are
yeah.
like sorcery speed or something.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there with my like prismatic ending, feeling pretty dumb.
Yeah.
And then they go, third land, cost reducer, ritual, 3 or 4 rituals. Start exiling off the top, and it's all over out of like nothing. They just went 3 lands, you're dead.
yeah. So I think that was a Past in Flames that was just drawn. Yeah.
Also, not the greatest
No.
here. Unfortunately, can't pass in flames for Static Prison.
Yeah. What does Steve need to close this game? I think it would probably just be in Bombardment, right? You play Bombardment, you sacrifice one of the cats, and you start flipping with the Johnny and building a board state.
Yeah.
I think a Johnny gives, because Nathan's at 11 right now, it looks, I think a Goblin Bombardment would put Nathan on a 2-turn clock.
It might actually kill him this turn because the Ajani 0, because Steven will have a red permanent, also domes Nathan for like 5. Right, so there's a number of creatures that you control. So yeah, if he plays Bombardment on, or if he did play it on this turn, he attacks the cat, gets him for 2, sacks it, shoots Nathan down to 8, flips a Johnny.
Gotcha.
Johnny makes a cat. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 to the dome, and then you shoot the rest at him. Death.
Yeah. So if I'm Nathan here, are you hoping the top of the deck serves you well right now? Are you playing this Mana Morphos and are you going for it?
Yeah, that's
because you see a Johnny, you see Ocelot. The thing is, how much luckier do you think you're going to get each turn from this point?
Yeah.
And you're not, right?
Yeah.
So, but Nathan has decided to gamble one more turn, which I think is a high risk, but it might benefit him greatly. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that
Lightning Bolt's pretty good.
this just in.
Yeah, this just in. Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt looks pretty good at
Good
this
magic
in this
card.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually think Steven's best line is to bolt his own cat post-combat.
Yes. Flip a Johnny, and then I believe that's
Like,
Mark's
let's put it this way.
lethal.
Nathan ain't blocking. He didn't block last turn, he ain't blocking this turn.
Yeah.
And these are 0-1 outdraws, correct? Or are they 1-1s?
There's 0-1s.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Because those
So they
even
don't-
confuse me.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't play Magic anymore. But like
You're washed up.
So all right, here we go. We got a 2-1 block, and then
Yeah.
the first strike lifelink trigger happens. Okay.
Yeah.
So Steven's at 16, very irrelevant.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's post combat.
Yeah.
Nathan's taken 1. It's gotta be bolt my own cat. Come on, Steven, let's see the line here.
Yeah, because like the thing with
Bolt the cat.
Yeah, with
He did not bolt the cat.
Yeah, because when I was building the weird Mage and Lizard deck, there was a concept I was talking with some other people with, where you can put your opponent to effectively 0
Yeah.
by
Because
having
how
enough
much would
damaging
the
hate
flip
pieces
to
in
Johnny
play,
have
right?
done that turn? We need to do this.
I think it does 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Yeah, it domes Nathan for 4.
If you control a red permanent other than a Johnny, number of creatures you control at any target. You would have had 1,
Lizard,
2,
Magistrate,
3,
Ocelot,
4.
Pride,
Yeah, you're
and
right.
the token.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
4.
It would have been 4. Okay.
But yeah, the thing is that, Nathan's at 8, but he needs to fight through the hate pieces and needs to survive through at least Lizard. So putting Nathan to 4 on this last turn might just be effectively 0. Because how does he get through without taking 4 damage first,
yes.
right?
See, that's also something that I was thinking as well. It's like, it's not just the Ajani and it's not just his life total. It's it's his prisoning. It's like you literally can only cast 2 spells now.
Yes.
One on the 1, one on the 2, and you're at 1. You literally can't cast anything else at this
Yes.
point in time. Unless it was a creature like Flage. But, yeah.
So here comes.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, remember your surveil trigger.
Oh, yeah.
Opponent's
Thanks,
doing
bud.
Nathan some favor. Yeah, when your opponent's helping out, you know you're probably dead. It's like, you need a little bit of extra from me to
The
get you
Calgarians
there.
are gracious towards each other.
They sure are.
We'll help you play properly. That's not a problem, buddy.
All right, well, down to 6 for the Lizard. This next
Yeah.
spell is going to put him down to 4.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if Steven had bolted his own guy, Nathan would be dead. But I guess this also means that if Nathan casts 2 more spells, Steven just gets to go, whoops.
Yeah, here we go. That's it. That's the end of the game. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you see
Storm
the writing
got
on the wall.
locked. Storm got prisoned out by the cat deck.
Yeah,
And,
mono white cats.
Mono white cats. Mono white cats with lizards to help. Yeah.
Is this really the zoo deck of the format? I mean, look at all these animals he's putting out.
I think the cats that they've been printing lately are better than some of the humans they printed back in the era. Like, there was also that one sky cat that's coming out in Foundations, and I'm just like, is this card Boros energy good? You know, it's like this thing can attack for 4 on turn 2.
Yeah,
It
like
doesn't take that much effort.
how close does our deck become cats plus Guide of Souls? You know,
It's pretty close.
Like, how many
It's
more
getting-
cards?
I'm telling you this, it's getting closer.
Right?
It is
I'm
getting
thinking like,
closer.
hey, does this deck put like 1 Regal Caracal like the sideboard just
Yeah.
because it does like it's got a lot of surprisingly relevant text?
Yeah, Guide of Souls is literally the tamer of the deck because we got monkeys, we have cats, we have raptors. He's
Guide
like,
them somewhere.
Man, this guy's like Jurassic Park hero. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when's our Chris Pratt Universes Beyond Guide
Yes.
of Souls, you know?
Oh man, that would be baller.
That would be very funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What was
yeah.
the raptor he called? Blue.
Blue? Yeah. Yeah. It's like, sorry, Blue's been demoted. He's moving on to white here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I do always forget like how many cats the deck does happen to run.
Oh, yeah.
When my opponent has like a pretty decent board, they're like plus a Johnny. I'm like, what does that do again? and then they just pull out like 12 dice. And it's like, you're like, we're dead.
Yeah. This is a tribal.
Right? Where yeah, I've got a couple of buddies that you know, they've been on the Fear Fire Foes tech for
Yes.
for this matchup. You know, and
We
they're
do see
staring
one
at
copy.
it. And
We do see one copy in the sideboard.
Yes.
It's the only way to beat the opposing one rings.
yes.
Now
That also happens to snag stuff, but yeah, there was a game where their opponent just ticked up a Johnny, and then he's staring at Fear Fire Foes and reading it, being like, shit.
Yeah.
I wish
yeah.
I had Pyroclasm.
Yeah. Fear Fire Foes is always an interesting card. Like, I remember that card being played against me one Wednesday locally here at Ogre, but
Yeah.
like, geez, like, there's so many weird flexible cards that these Universe Beyond sets have given. Like, I would never be able to keep up with all the crazy tech. What do we think about the One Ring in these Boros decks now? Because there's a lot of debate happening with Boros energy right now. If you're not familiar, like, there's 3 different types of energy now that have fractured from the main
Okay.
energy deck.
Okay.
So like right now it's about like 20% of the metagame according to Goldfish.
Yes.
And
30%, I think, if you include Mardu.
and Jessica.
That's right.
Yes.
I've also faced blue-white.
Yes.
No red.
Yeah. So there's some interesting developments happening.
Yeah.
Because Boros Energy is the top dog, they're trying to beat each other more than they're trying to beat the other decks.
Yes.
I've seen some Boros Energy decks just go 2 One Rings.
Yeah.
And they're like 4 expressive iterations to try and out-advantage the opponents. And I'm like,
Yeah.
so like I saw a Boros Energy deck with 4 expressive variations and 4 consigned to memory in the sideboard.
Side, okay.
Yeah. So they had only 4 blue cards in the
Yeah.
main and 4 blue in the side.
That's
and
the
that
splash.
was it. But that was the splash. And yeah, and I was just like, man, like, well, I'm stubborn, so what I'm gonna end up doing is just like play Fable the Mirror Breaker and call it a day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put the One Ring in, but I also suspect it's ending coming in December, but at the same time, it's like we haven't really seen it so far in this tournament. Round 1, game 1, we saw a quick play of it, but it got quickly countered.
Yeah.
So we never got to see its effects. And then these games have just been so attrition heavy, we still haven't seen its effects.
Yes.
But It's there.
Oh,
it's
totally.
lingering. Yeah.
The like ambient pressure that it just has over every
Yeah.
game, where you're like, can I afford to tap out and have my opponent resolve one ring? Do I just lose to that?
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Or sometimes the matchups are just like exchange resources, and then whoever plays one ring first wins.
Yeah.
Right.
Here we go. Nathan, coming
So-
back this game, I see a static prison, and my boy, Flage, here we go.
Flage has found its way into the main deck, so we did go. Shit, my game one or
My
my,
game 2 plan
yeah,
did not
was
work.
not right.
Yeah, my game 3 plan
We
needs
figured
to be
it out.
Flage.
Yeah. So yeah, just here's Flage. So I mean, I'm tempted here to just go land and just Flage your Guide of Souls.
I wouldn't because I'm going to lose the value out of the spells on the side.
That's right. That's right.
I would static prison.
And then-
I would static prison out the damping sphere,
Yeah.
and then I would attempt to ritual just to get the card in the graveyard.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has a ritual in his hand, because if he has a ritual in his hand and a cost reducer, he can actually do both.
Right.
Yeah. Because he has Manamorphose in the pile.
Yes.
So if he has a reducer,
You can just make like white red and then
yeah, but he would need a ritual.
yes.
You need a ritual, a reducer, then the Manamorphose, and then another ritual. But
yeah.
But it would be worth it.
Oh,
he's
just jam
okay,
Manamorphose.
Okay,
Okay.
so just jam Manamorphose. Okay,
Draw a card.
that's 2 rituals now. Okay. So he's just gonna play it through the damping sphere.
Yeah.
That's also respectable.
That's
I
fine
can't.
too, yeah.
I can't disagree with that.
just like kind of continue to like develop.
Yeah, and it also keeps the static prison in his hand for a turn where he may be like, oh, okay, he's a little shields down. Like, here we go. We got an all
Yeah,
slot
'cause-
pride. That's one thing.
Yeah, because Sphere against Storm isn't exactly lights out because it's so
Yes.
easily to remove and then you're just online immediately.
Yeah, past 4 spells, it obviously gets difficult because it
Yes.
offsets the rituals at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I mean, yeah, here's
so
some
Guide of
cats.
Souls doing Guide of Souls things now.
Yeah, here's some cats. Here's some energy. So yeah, not nearly as strong of a start from Steven as last game. I mean, he didn't just jam sideboard cards for 3 turns in a row. So leaning on the back of his dampings here pretty hard. But it looks like Steven is also sitting on a static prison, which Nathan might have a read on, where he's like, if I'm static prisoning,
I have to go off.
Yeah, I have to
right?
do it in the exact same turn.
And if there's no cost reducer, then it's difficult. So you may need to forfeit the Past in Flames this turn, but I would still cast the ritual to have it in the graveyard.
Yes.
So I would cast the ritual to have it in the graveyard, and then I would cast a Flage and I would kill that Guided Souls to stop the clock from happening.
Yes, slow things down.
Yeah. Yeah, casting the ritual from exile would help, and then
Yeah.
just
Yeah, losing past sucks, but not the worst. Not the worst thing to happen.
like I know Ocelot Pride being on the field is just like a problem for X amount of turns.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can just disrespect that at the same point. So I hope he sees the line to cast the ritual first. But if he doesn't, it's not going to be that consequential.
Just jamming Flage, yeah.
So he's decided to go with the
Ocelot
Ocelot. There's decisions to be made between both. I
Yeah.
would personally hit the Guide of Souls, but the Ocelot Pride does develop the board state more.
Yeah, like Ocelot Pride is a little more of a self-contained engine
Yeah.
than Guide is, right? Where Ocelot swinging in just keeps making cats.
Yeah.
Guide of Souls is nothing else, is just a 1-2.
Yeah, the thing is, the problem is that he already has 2 energy, if I see
Yes.
that correctly, and then it's like it's just going to get worse
So
if
any
there's a
one
second
energy,
Ocelot,
and now
yeah.
he gets a 3-4 Guide or
Yeah.
whatever else.
Yeah, I think the only other thing that Nathan could have done that turn was just like play the extra ritual and then
just
play the
Flage.
Flage, because
Yeah.
that way you have another card in the graveyard to exile to the Flage if you have to cast it.
Yeah. Yeah, those go bye-bye forever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, maybe that won't be that consequential since he's losing Past in Flames here anyway.
Yeah, no, but yeah, it's just.
I
the
mean, he is
escape
on
the
4
Flage.
pass.
The escape
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Flage is like because now you're forced to have that decision because you have another Past in Flames in your hand.
Yes.
So now you're forced to get rid of all the cards when you could have kept one good one.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he needs a fetch land or another Manamorphose and a way to remove that damping sphere. So fetch land is the best case scenario here, so you can fetch out the Sacred Foundry out of this
Yeah.
list. Yeah.
And then just escape Flage, which then forces Steven's static prison, which then maybe gives Nathan an opening to prison himself
Yeah.
and then go off. But we'll see what Steven does here, because he does have a ring in his hand too, so he might opt for just land ring.
I don't know if you would land Ring in this situation because you shouldn't be afraid of the Damping Sphere leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But it is awkward because his hand obviously doesn't have more threats and it obviously doesn't have more disruption. So what is in Steven's hand, right?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't see anything impressive last turn except for Ocelot. So like a turn 3 Ocelot Pride is like nothing to scoff at, but at the same time it's not the most impressive thing you want to be doing against Storm when you have 3 mana access.
Yeah, it
right?
looks like Steven's hand is a Johnny Static Prison Discharge, which I'm surprised to see.
We finally have a cost reducer. We have Ralzaric.
So this might be the turn of. Yeah, Nathan could go Static Prison, get rid of Damping Sphere, Ritual, play Ral, go off.
We need another land.
A land would be really good.
Yeah.
So because he doesn't have to burn the Ritual to like play a Ral. You can play Ral first and then
So
Ritual.
I think you're just forced to cast the other Flage here. I think you're just
Flage
forced to
again?
cast the other Flage on the Guide of Souls. Because if you Ritual
Resolve?
here,
All right.
oh, it's a Ren's Resolve. Okay,
Sure.
all right. He wants to hit the land drop. Okay, there we go. He hit a land drop. So success.
Yeah. But basically locked out of anything else thanks to Sphere.
Yes,
So
completely locked out. But he did hit his land drop. So if he hits a land drop next turn, I think that's the turn he has to decide to make the move.
yeah, because then he should be able to go Ral, Ritual, pass in Flames.
Right.
And then Ritual some more times, play some Resolves.
Yeah.
Hopefully that wins the game.
So timing will be that the one of Dranith Magistrate will be off this ring draw. But yeah.
Yeah, and that's the. Oh, so Steven did bring in Thraben Charm.
Yeah.
So
See,
that's,
I did
that's draw for
think that
turn.
card was more effective, but yeah. Like if I'm Steven right now, I'm Thraben Charming now, and I'm not even thinking twice.
Yeah, because I mean, you already see Flage in the graveyard.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, can I beat Flage? Maybe, maybe not. But this also doubles as,
Yeah.
you know, slows down Nathan's next turn if he does want to try to go off.
Yeah. I don't know if I would use Thraben Charm in response. I would be proactive about it because if he randomly drew an untapped white source, he would not get priority and Flage is on the field.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, I would use the Thraben Charm
Just jam
now. Like when you see your opponent play something spicy like a Flage in front of your face, like you have to respect it right away.
Yeah.
You won't get priority unless it was a fetch land. Right?
Yeah, and I mean the other line is that Steven might be considering, since you saw some of Nathan's support plan last game, is does he keep Thraben Charm to protect Damping Sphere?
Yeah.
Right? As like, well, I can hold this up. If he static prisons and then tries to go off, I can just blow up his prison, get Sphere back, and maybe burn a ritual or two, right?
Right.
But then you are at the mercy of like White Source Flage the next turn, which obviously very hard to beat for
Okay,
Steven
so he's
right now.
doing it in the upkeep.
Yeah. Which is,
There
you
you
know,
go.
just a fine
Exile
at the
the
spot. I don't think against non-blue decks, the timing here really matters.
It probably only technically mattered because of the Damping Sphere, but I don't think.
yeah.
But he can't technically use that extra mana anyway, so it just doesn't really compensate in that way. But yeah, here we are.
There is fetch, so could have gotten White Source for Flage.
Yeah. So, but now I think what's going to happen is that card is going to find an Elegant Parlor, and I think we're waiting one more turn and gambling the rest of this whole match on the situation, because like if he starts going off now, it will be immensely difficult in this situation.
Yeah.
Like, but he may have to. Like, if he is at 14, if that life total is correct.
Yeah.
Maybe they're calculating life totals right now.
Just doing a check. I know that he was confirmed. It looks like he was confirming Guide of Souls toughness.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Because it looks like he's tapping Flage mana here.
Yeah,
But you can't snag Guide.
You either go all in on this Ral flip and this Ren's Resolve, or you do none of it at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Jam
all right.
Flage can try to shoot this, but Steven does have Lightning Bolt and
He cannot
Discharge.
cast it because he already cast the Raven Charm.
That's right. So
Yeah.
Damping Spear hurting himself a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the correct line. You find Elegant Parlor, you sacrifice this Ren's Resolve, and you try and get something better next turn, and you just hope your opponent can't clock you that much. And with a 3 life gain on the slow as Lightning Helix, it's completely respectable. So you gotta give him credit too for casting the good one last, so that it stays there, like the good art, and then the bad art is in the exile pile.
Yeah, the bad art goes to the trash.
Yeah.
Priorities. These are the
Yeah,
kind of metagame decisions
yeah,
you need players to start
yeah,
making.
yeah, for
You
sure,
know, when you
yeah.
got mismatched cards, you got to think about which one is
yeah.
actually going to show up on camera the most.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're looking for some extended Art Guide of Souls and some retro Damping Spheres here. But other than that, the board state looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Here comes the elegant part.
I mean, I hate that one ring art though. That's clearly the. I mean, I guess it's the
I just
second
hate
worst
the one
art
ring,
now.
so I can't really tell.
They're all bad.
They're all bad.
They're all bad.
I own 4 copies, but they're all bad.
I thought you were gonna sell yours in Vegas.
I was going to sell mine in Vegas, and then
Yeah,
I looked
change
at
your
the
mind?
prices, and I was like,
They're not going for as high as
I
you thought.
wanted.
Yeah.
Like Canadian retailers and American retailers are different prices, so I was
Yes.
like, well, I'm just going to trade them in locally.
Yeah. I mean, also
I'll give them to 4 local Commander players. Message
Right?
me. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking for
Message
the one
in chat
rings.
if you're looking for one rings.
Yeah, look, it goes
Borderless.
in literally every commander deck.
Borderless. Yeah.
There's look, you have 40 life. It goes in every commander deck.
Oh, he's prisoning now.
See, I think this is a
Whoa.
big mistake here.
He exposes himself to 3 ring draws and 1 extra ring draw for his own prison. So he's trying to hope. Oh, is this turn 1? Are we at time?
We are in time.
Oh, geez. So this is turn 1. Okay, so this is a Hail Mary attempt for sure.
I guess, because, Flage to finish the game isn't going to be fast enough.
The opposing static prison on static prison will seal the deal, ladies and gentlemen. But
Yeah, I think-
hopefully Nathan can get rewarded off the top of his deck, and then we can have static ring loops.
Yeah.
But
We have to live the old Oblivion Ring
let's crash Mordor,
golden
ladies and
age.
gentlemen.
Love that for us.
Here's a raptor. Oh, well, you got rid of the
Yeah.
damping sphere. Now I can play my raptor.
Right? This is a fun side effect where now Steven can just wait till he has, 1 white mana left and go, okay,
Yeah.
I'm done
But
now.
There is only one level of justice, and it's to cast Draneth the Magistrate off the raptor.
That feels illegal. Here's my thing that stops what I'm doing.
Come on, ladies and that's lame, Johnny. I want to see Draneth.
Yeah, that would have been pretty sweet.
Unfortunate. Game's a flop. Okay, all right.
Yeah, pack it up. We're done, huh?
Yeah.
But I think this should be enough damage generally for Steven to win in turns if he's uncontested. Yeah, here comes the damage.
One of these cats is going to be a 3/3 flyer. Oh, 4/3
8.
flyer. 4/3 flyer.
Coming in for 8 here. Which does make next turn lethal if my math is correct. Also, I think Steven does still have Bolt / Galvanic Discharge. Yeah, so you can flip a Johnny here by bolting his own cat.
Is that not lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 damage.
Yeah, if he discharges cat, flip a Johnny, 0 you, bolt.
Yeah.
GG's.
Thanks for getting rid of Dampening Sphere, bud.
Yeah, really helping. Who's the Storm player again?
Yeah.
Who's storming off here?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
4,
and
and then bolt.
Amped Raptor also being the exact card he needed to have this a Johnny play workout, and then
Yeah.
bolt you.
It's like,
Looks at his
hey,
card, yeah.
you stopped me what I was trying to do. What's going on here, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
All right, Boros Energy takes
Still
out
good.
Storm, round 2.
Yeah, Boros Energy still good.
Yeah,
Still good.
Nathan had the right plan, but that taking out that Damping Sphere was
Kind of backfired a little bit.
kind of
hey?
backfired a little bit
Yeah,
there.
I
yeah.
was really looking forward to take out Damage Sphere and then go off in the same turn instead
Well,
of this.
I really appreciate 4 mana draw 6 though.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 mana draw 6 is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. The ring did a lot of heavy lifting here,
Yeah,
as
he
it
didn't even
does.
actually have to tap it for the other 3 cards, but the fact that you just super divination or concentrate, that's the technical.
Concentrate.
Yeah, concentrate was good here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you already have the line, you don't even have to tap the ring again. It's like, well, come on. I don't think this deck needs this card, guys. Come
Yeah.
on, we can sacrifice one. Just
Yeah.
play some new cats from Foundations,
Yeah, put a cat lord in your deck. Let's see one of those.
or
get
you can
and
put
sneak in
Goblin
there.
Shamans back in. You can put the Fables back in.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.